Let's get this crazy train rolling. Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Bossers Podcast. Great place to play games and be better. I am one of your hosts, PC Muscle Race, myself, LeRon Dawkins, better known as X's803 out there in social media land. I want to welcome everybody back to the Bossers Podcast. It's a wonderful week. It's a Tuesday night. We're doing our thing here. And right along beside me is the made man, the PK Power, Pat Klein himself. How's it going, Pat?
I am fresh from vacation.
Fresh from vacation.
Fresh from vacation. I literally came back. Actually, well, no, I came back on Sunday night. Didn't work yesterday, so I'd still consider myself pretty fresh. Today it's the first day I worked, but I worked from home, so
Nice. I'm pretty sure shenanigans were had.
No, none that have crossed my path yet.
Oh, you were a good boy. You were a good boy.
What happens when we go into the office?
Okay.
But
The cat's in his lap. It's been holding him down.
yeah.
It doesn't sit in my lap very long.
All right. Also with us tonight is one of our all-stars from the Bossers Network, the Pal Black Papa himself, Mr. Eddie V. Hey, dude, welcome back.
Hey, thank you for having me. Just got to know, is this seat taken?
It is. You're just keeping it warm.
Yes, it's a game that I've been playing on Switch 2 and been loving it. Also, why Jimmy John's got some bomb brownies?
They haven't. Wait, they had
brownies before.
Yeah, I was about to say they had brownies.
I know that, but why is it the bomb? Like bomb biggity. I'm like, oh, this is so good and chewy. I'm like, they may have the best brownies over goodness, what is the other sub place? Not Subway. But whatever.
The other sub place, Firehouse.
That does sub stuff.
Jersey Mike's.
Jersey Mike's.
Yeah, Jersey Mike's. Okay. Firehouse does subs too, though. But yeah.
Yeah.
Firehouse has.
I haven't really tried the brownies, but I've definitely gone with the triple chocolate chunk cookie.
Ooh.
That is good.
See, Subway got the bomb like chocolate chip cookies.
Hey, sir, this is not a segment of Snacktendo. You stop it. You stop it right now.
Hello, everybody.
And always be kind. Please rewind, because the infinite rewind man himself is back, Mr. Matthew Kiel. Welcome back, man.
Hello, it's Tuesday. And why are y'all talking about bad fast food sandwiches?
Before you go any further, this is not Snacktendo, so stop it.
I come from the land of decent hoagies, and most of them come from non-chain restaurants. Y'all need to stop. You need to try better food.
I mean, yeah, you living up in Pennsylvania with your authentic freaking like cheesesteaks and stop.
Look.
We got
cheesesteaks
scrapple. We got pork roll.
Oh, no. You said scrapple. No, we're done. No.
We got fats on fats on fats.
Ew.
Look, Matt, the Philly cheese.
Every garbage part of the animal up here. That's what we do.
The Philly cheesesteaks in Pennsylvania. Truth. Full truth.
Yeah,
no other state will compare.
Yeah. But see, you have to do it right. See, one thing I learned, and Corey will agree with me. When I moved here, and when someone said it to me, I was like, "Shut your mouth," because that sounds like garbage. You have to get onions on it, fried, of course, and you have this. I want you to hold back your gag reflexes. Cheese whiz.
That's not the worst thing I've ever heard on cheesesteak.
So, but see, here's the thing. Most people when you say cheese whiz, they're like, why the fuck would you even do that? But cheese whiz on a cheesesteak with fried onions, I mean, I've learned that like Cooper Sharp is a thing that exists. You can also put that on there with the Cheese Whiz and long hot peppers, and you have yourself a big long roll that you want to put in your mouth all the way and never stop.
We're done. We're done. I want to go ahead and use this segment right
You're
now.
welcome.
I'm using this section right now.
We crossed the 5-minute mark. We're fine.
Don't encourage him. Let him discover
Actually,
for
Wolfeee,
himself.
how are you? It's been so long.
Tatted.
Oh,
Tatted.
oh boy.
I am very tired. I've been job searching like every day, so I'm exhausted.
Oh.
And then I'm in grad school. So
Grad school and where you go to school, but it's work, and then you're looking for work,
Yeah.
and you can't get enough work, and you're also doing this work, and then you just quote the poet laureate Rihanna, work. Yes,
Yeah.
I did that. You're welcome. This is why you bring me.
Yeah, this is
Your
why.
period. I am the personification of your periodic herpes infection. You're never going to get rid of me. I'm just going to keep showing up, and I'm going to throw long rolls in your mouth, and we're going to have a good time.
Of course, the man who works in the medical field is going to say all the out of pocket stuff tonight. That's okay though. We're here for it though. And by the way, you're also here for the Boss Rush podcast, the flagship podcast of Boss Rush Media and the Boss Rush Network. We record every episode live on Twitch, YouTube, and X/Twitter. You know, whatever the cool kids want to call it these days.
It'll always be Twitter to me.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. This is the only time I'm going to dead name something. This is the only time, and I'll do it every time.
Twitter.
Yep.
There are only two dead names in this world that are okay: Twitter and Ask Jeeves. That's it. Yeah, none of y'all remember that shit.
Yeah, I remember. I was there. But just remember, all these every episode's live Tuesday nights, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 6 p.m. Pacific. So please come hang out, be a part of the conversation, and join us in the live chat. We will love to hear from you. Sound off, even shout out some of the best comments while the show's going on live. Also, please subscribe or follow us while you're here. And if you can't join us live, you can catch the show on demand the following Wednesday morning on YouTube and on our website, as well as any of your favorite podcasting apps. So there we go. If you like to support Boss Rush, you can head over to our Patreon. That's patreon.com/Boss Rush Network. For just $1 a month, you can get early access to shows like the Video Game Book Club and Expansion Pass, and also exclusive content like our pre-shows and audio versions of our spoiler casts and reviews. It's August now. So yeah, and starting in August, patrons will also get the Boss Rush podcast 3 days early. So thank you for your support. If you can't support us or financially or join us live, your listenership and your viewership is enough for us. So please head over to YouTube, subscribe to the Boss Rush on YouTube, hit the notification bell so you don't miss a single episode. We have episodes all the time. There's always new content dropping. If you're listening on Apple Podcasts or Spotify, please rate us with 5 stars and leave us a review. And this all will help with our growth and discoverability. And of course, you can find all of our content, including our daily Boss Rush banter, discussion pieces, our reviews, news, features, and a lot more over at our website, bossrush.net. So there we go. Now that all that's out the way, now we got all the legal essay done. Now we can
Legal
get to
essay? Legalese, my guy.
I know. I said it like that on purpose. I said it like that on
You're
purpose.
running it like a white person. What are you doing?
Just like how some people say Tarjay,
And they need to be catapulted into the sun.
Oh yeah.
All right. So if you're new here, this is your first time watching and or listening. Every week, each host picks a topic to discuss along the episode, and we also try to lead with talking points, so this discussion kind of stays on the rails. I don't know. We got Matt and Ed here, so I don't know how on the rails is going to stay, but
where we're going, we don't need rails.
Mm-hmm.
Right, Ed? I know you're with me. Let's go. Let's ruin this.
Yep.
He's just sitting there smiling. I'm gonna take a drink. Matt's on his own. Thanks, Ed. Appreciate you.
Ed, you're
I mean,
one of
because Matt is preaching truth. Like with Matt, me and Matt, yeah, that is true. Everybody, just be ready for the ride.
Yeah.
Ed, I'm gonna let you go first because you know how this thing goes here. So you got a topic for us tonight, man?
Yes. So, everybody, Nintendo did a Nintendo Direct Partners showcase and a Nintendo Indie Direct on the last 2 weeks in here in August. And it kind of seems that people were upset and didn't really like both shows because of their expectations not being met. Personally, like for example, a game like Silk Song not being in any of the directs, people just saying it was a bad presentation, and it's kind of been like that lately with a lot of showcases that they just been disappointed and upset about it. So my question to you all is just like, is the Nintendo Directs or Directs and Showcases really a letdown because people's expectations are not being met? No, and it's okay if people have predictions on what they hope to see, but if they don't see it, if they're really showing a diverse lineup of games, whether it is ports or new IPs, or games that's already out on past systems, like just like they're on PC, but it's in early access, and one of these systems are getting it for the first time for a full release. Is that such a bad thing? I'm going to start with you,
just for clarification,
okay.
Like this is like all like directs and shows. It's not just Nintendo exclusive. Okay. I just wanted clarification. That's all.
Yeah. So Patrick, I'm going to start with you. What is your opinion about that?
I think people just have expectations that are completely they're just completely out there. Like they expect
you almost said irrelevant, didn't you?
Irrelevant, yeah. They expect every single direct to feature at least 12 Zeldas and 84 Marios before the show's over. And it's like you're not getting all that, especially when Nintendo sets the expectations of partner direct, indie showcase. Neither of those are Nintendo first party titles. You're lucky you even saw a Zelda in a partner direct this time around. Like it came exactly how I expected. You got bigger third-party publishers announcing some stuff, such as the Adventures of Elliot, Octopath Traveler, and Monster Hunter World 3. To me, it did what it was supposed to. Was it overly stellar to me? No, it probably was a B, but I think everyone that says if you don't have one or the other game on it, it's an immediate fail. Just needs to understand how the video game market works.
They need to touch grass. They need to do that first of all, because I think I'm going to take my turn now, Ed. I'm sorry. Okay, so yeah, I'm a person that I agreed the all the shows, the directs, and all that stuff based off the content, not what they plan to give me, And to be completely transparent, like the last 3 shows I have not caught. So I didn't catch both Nintendo Directs, and I didn't catch the Xbox showcase that happened recently either. So I'm kind of out of the loop, but at the same time, I did keep track of the conversation and stuff like that. And yeah, like you would think that, nothing was shown that was worth, anybody spending money on, but that's not the case. I know for sure because Stephanie and Pat made sure to know that there was a new Monster Hunter Stories coming, which yes, I was like, oh my God, I missed it.
It looks crazily insane good animation wise. I'm like, oh, Capcom was not playing. This looks so good.
Oh yeah, that unit that handles like the RPG arm of Monster Hunter, they're doing wonderful things. And each game looks better than the last game and stuff like that. But I'm not here to talk about Capcom, in this portion of it. Basically, the way I feel about this is that gamers have such this big entitlement that if they don't see anything they want to see, like, yeah, I get before the reveal of Monster Hunter Wilds, like I did get let down every time like one of these shows came out and there was no new Monster Hunter content. But at the same time, I did not turn around and say this show was ass because there was no Monster Hunter, there was no Tekken, there was no this, there was no that. I'm not like that. But what I will say is like I have said that a show has let me down because like if they show 20 games and there's only one or two games that move the needle for me, I feel like it was a mid show. But that's just me personally, Everybody else, for me only getting 2 games that only move the needle for me. There's somebody else out there, 18 games move the needle for them out of a 20 game presentation, and that was the best show ever and stuff like that. Everybody wants to talk loud and be heard last, and stuff like that. And it's just really weird. So like that's why I said like there are a lot of gamers out there that just need to touch grass. Like not every game is going to be meant for you. Not everything. I use myself as a perfect example. I didn't buy a Nintendo 64 because Nintendo didn't do enough to me to say like they had games on that console that I want to play. I had matured with gaming and stuff like that. So yeah, I was wanting to play games like Resident Evil, like games like Tomb Raider, stuff like that, not so much rated M games, but I wanted to play games that just had a more like mature adult vibe to it. And when 64 kind of rolled out the gate and stuff like that, it just didn't have the content I wanted. So I basically missed out in that generation. Now, that being said, I've never once said the Nintendo 64 was a terrible system. I've never said that. I've never, in like the long history that console's been, it has been released and is now dead and whatnot. I've never said it's a bad system because guess what? I've had fun playing games on that system. GoldenEye, Perfect Dark, all that stuff. It just didn't do enough for me to turn around, plop $400 and buy one. And yeah, that's kind of what it is. And I use that as an example to say that like. There's at least a gaming show or some type of showcase at least once a month or once every 6 to 8 weeks and stuff like that. Nothing's ever going to be meant for everybody. You're going to have the people who love Starfield and Elden Ring and all this stuff, and they're going to have a blast when those games are like announced or anything goes or anything along that lines. You've got people who they're all about Smash Brothers and Kingdom Hearts and all that stuff, and of course anytime Kingdom Hearts content drops on any of these shows, like there's a part of the internet that says like that show won. It is what it is. Like I cannot wait for the next Metroid Prime. Actually, I've seen enough Metroid Prime that I know I'm going to get it. So like I will be super amped when a new Metroid title shows up in one of these showcases or whatnot. I'm going to be super excited whenever an Uncharted game shows up. Whenever I would love for another Dead Space game to happen. It doesn't have to be a remake Dead Space 2, even though like you would make me a happy boy if the Dead Space 2 remake happened. Yeah. But ultimately, gamers are too entitled, myself included. I feel like there's always going to be things that are always ultimately going to disappoint me. But I learned a long time ago. As a matter of fact, I learned back when I first started joining the Boss Rush crew as a podcaster and stuff like that. I can't yuck everybody's yum. As a matter of fact, I would be the villain if I was yucking everybody's yum. And I think if more people looked at themselves as villains when they turn around, oh, there's no Silk Song. Oh, there's no Spider-Man. Oh, there's no new God of War. Oh, where's our Twisted Metal Online and all this? No, shut up. Like it's not about you. The only thing at the end of the day that any of these game companies are worried about is like they satisfy enough people so they can make their bottom line, every quarter.
All right.
There you go.
Matt,
there you go. I'm stepping off my soapbox now.
Matt, what is your opinion about this?
So, I mean, I basically share LeRon's thoughts. I also think that video games in particular it's a weird medium where there's a barrier of entry that isn't necessarily the biggest to get into in terms of having a platform. And when you start to have a platform, no matter how meager it is, you want to try and build that. So you dial up your reactions, you dial up the weirdness of your takes, or you dial up your emotional response to these shows. And unfortunately, in doing things like unfortunately doing things like that can cloud your vision in ways that you won't see until you look back at things that you did after you've either gotten more successful or decided to exit your platform. And I remember when I started, wanting to be a video game podcaster. I thought my opinions were special or smart, and then I realized, oh wait a minute, I was not only a dude in a sea of many other dudes that had very similar complexions with very similar opinions. I also realized that I wasn't thinking very critically about this medium. So I ended up
breaking in real fast to quote Mila Jovovich in Resident Evil 6. You just realized you were another asshole.
Yeah, exactly. I'm like, I am just another faceless douchebag on someone's screen somewhere, and I'm just saying another version of something they've already heard from someone else.
Yeah.
And because this idea of hosting a podcast or having a blog or doing something where you can react to video game content is not that hard, a lot of people try it. And when a lot of people try a thing, you're gonna hear the same thing because they're all gonna react to the same thing that went viral or whatever. Now, getting to gamers and their entitlement, yeah, everything LeRon said is true. I mean, I personally I haven't watched a video game direct or a showcase in its entirety in a very long time. But this year specifically, when I saw Silksong on the ROG Ally X, I knew that the response to every event after that was going to have a special brand of unhinged Team Cherry really don't like us very much, do they?
Yeah. Yeah, man. The internet's salty right now.
and now is Team Cherry innocent in all this? No, because they do troll their fans something fierce, and it's kind of hilarious. Like they will decide to just hop on Twitch and be live, but look at like pachinko machines. They won't even mention that they're video game developers. Like respect for that kind of like gall. But yeah, ultimately, like y'all are complaining about the toy section that has an unprecedented amount of variety that you choose to not engage with and look at when you could really just open your mind and your heart to something different and possibly be moved. I mean, I remember when I was well, I'm old. So in 2007, I was 28, and I wanted to play all the BioShocks, all the Fallout 3s. I wanted to play all of those games. But when I saw a game, when I opened my heart to a game like Braid, or a game like Limbo, or a game like Explosion Man, for God's sake, you found that was when I found that, like, oh, there's so much out here that I don't know about because it's not being strenuously marketed at my face, ears, and mind. So when you if you want to watch these shows, if you want to react to them, and all you're going in with is a laundry list of what you want, and if it's not there, you think it's bad, don't watch those shows. Find out if it's there later, then go be happy. Like that's what you want. That's your confirmation bias that you want to experience life. You only want to be informed that your happiness matters. Um, and that has been a long, polite way of saying, sit down, shut the fuck up, and either engage with or don't engage with this. Your thing will come eventually. LeRon and I were very happy earlier this year when Monster Hunter Wilds finally came out. We were so happy and we had so much fun playing together. I miss those times.
Yeah, I miss them too. And I'm playing a poorly optimized version of Monster Hunter Wilds.
I mean, it was just us and Andre and my buddy Zodiac, and it was really funny to hear these conversations happen because LeRon would be like the seasoned Monster Hunter who's been there the entire time. Like, okay, guys, we got to lock in this arch-tempered Ray Dow is gonna mess with us. Meanwhile, Zodiac and I are going, "What's the best song ever, and why is it, Higher Love by Steve Winwood?"
You're basically like, shut the hell up, LeRon. Like, yeah, you're good at Monster Hunter. Shut up.
And LeRon's like, "What are you guys talking about?" And then like Zodiac put like a Chanakabra to sleep and said, "Good night, John Boy," like it was the fucking Waltons. Like this is the thing that most people complain about so hard. Just have fun.
Yeah.
It's supposed to be fun.
And also you'll get your turn, basically.
Exactly.
Yeah. Wolfie, what you got to say on this?
I mean, personally, same with Matt. I haven't watched the showcases in a very long time. And, for me, I think just like I miss the old days when like video games weren't so like people would just getting them to have fun and not be like, oh, this game just came out, I'm so excited, and then they see like a showcase and they'll be like, oh, this game isn't coming out yet, like what the hell, and they get mad. Like I miss those days. And I mean, I'm someone who didn't purchase the Nintendo Switch 2 because when the Nintendo Switch came out, it was COVID, I was working in news, and all I wanted to do again was play Animal Crossing. That was my childhood. And my dad unfortunately sold all my systems when we moved, and I just wanted a Nintendo Switch Lite and Animal Crossing New Horizons. That's all I wanted. And I'm not going to purchase a Switch because I am one of those PC gamers. I have all my games on my computer. I'd rather sit at a desk, and I do have a controller. But, I think people it needs to go back to like the 2000s, especially with how things are going and like how people get upset with different games. Like people need to touch grass.
I feel like gaming before the internet was definitely the golden age.
Yeah, that was my childhood. I grew up. I feel young as hell. I'm 26. I was born in 99. So
wow, I'm 20 years older than you.
I don't even want to put out there how old I am.
Well,
around me, you're just like 2 years apart, though. I think 2 or 3
yeah.
Wolfie, I just want to. I'm kind of stepping in. I don't mean to interrupt because I kind of.
No, go ahead.
I agree with you to a point. The one thing I would say is like that's also the people who are coming to this. They only because their experience was the things that they had and that they attached to. And now that they have a wider world and they only want to do the things that they attach to, like that just it shows a very short-sighted, closed-minded thinking. And now I wouldn't knock anybody if they just wanted to switch to play Animal Crossing. I was an avoider of Animal Crossing for a very long time, and then I tried it, and I was like, I get it now. And as someone, well, and then on top of that, I got it as a healthcare worker working through 2020, while everyone else was telling me how bored they were at home. And I'm like,
Yo, Animal Crossing for the Switch was like the world's biggest palate cleanser game as far as I'm concerned.
That was, I mean, and it'll never, well, it won't be like that again anytime soon. Like the next Animal Crossing game will come, and the people who love Animal Crossing will do their Animal Crossing things. The people who got into it over 2020 will be like, why did I like this? And it's because they're not being forced inside and away from the world.
Yeah. I mean, I was a diehard fan from up until when I first got my first DS. I was like 12.
Mm-hmm.
I actually have a KK Slider tattoo. My favorite. So
I mean, easily S tier gaming character as far as I'm concerned. I will not be taking any arguments.
Oh yeah, there are like some playlists on Spotify that people have made of the music from the game. I fall asleep to that.
KK Scott is a goddamn banger.
Oh my god, yes, it is. I love that song. I want to go back and play. I haven't played in it's been a year.
Yeah.
Well, the original Animal Crossing might become the Switch 2 in the future, the GameCube version, the first one, because a lot of people don't know the history of that game. So maybe just be a game for people.
Hopefully, it fixes the tone mapping in that game because I swear we cannot live through another wave where old people thought that the dancing fire hydrants was a penis.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well,
I mean, it was a penis disguised as a fire hydrant.
Either way, it could put out a fire. Okay.
See, Pat knows.
Just wait for it to start squirting. Okay, got it.
Well,
it was that game.
All you gotta do is just undo the top a little bit and just
twist the nozzle and spray.
But I'm gonna give my opinion.
I started that. That's my fault this time.
Yep. You done messed up, LeRon.
Well, I think that with a lot of these director showcases, I know, like I said earlier, a lot of people place their expectations to it. I don't think people celebrate games that is coming to their platform in the near future. I think for a lot of gamers of today, a lot of modern gamers who are young didn't go through the E3 stages where if you were going to find out a game was coming, if you wasn't buying the video game magazines or reading anything about E3, you wouldn't know what was coming to the system. Sometimes you would just find games just appearing. So I think placing expectations on these showcases and stuff, it's like I said to LeRon and everybody else, like it's fun to predict what is going to be on the showcase. You can always have a prediction, and if it comes true, it's a lucky prediction, and I'm like, celebrate that and be happy. But if your expectations are not being met, it doesn't mean that the show is bad. There's just some games that you might not look forward to, but it's still an exciting showcase to see because with these showcases and directs, it's literally community based. It's good that we all get to watch it at the same time or different times and talk about it online or in real life. That's the great things about these directs and showcases. Yes, the games might not be there that you want, but I'm like, you never know. Later down in a year or even a couple of months, you might be getting that game with extra features after that game came out. So, yeah. So with that, everybody, I'm going to wrap it up here. And Pat, I'm going to hand it off to you.
Okay.
Right. Awesome. Hey, good topic, Ed. I like where you were going with that. I guess a closing thought that I'll add to it is like beauty's in the eye of the beholder. So it's like that line. So basically, everybody has their bar for where things are at and stuff like that. We can respect it, but also at the same time, opinions are like a-holes. So everybody's got one, and it doesn't always mean that your opinion is the right one. So.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Mr. Klein. Right. Oh wait, that's your father's name. What do we? Unless
I
Pat,
mean-
you now have the mantle of daddy.
I do not have the mantle of daddy yet, but
Not with that attitude, sir.
Yep. So I just got back from vacation this last weekend, and it made me think
How
about
tired are your arms?
Well, I drove all the way back, so
Oh my,
yeah.
Matt, this is not after dark.
Yeah.
You just can't ask questions like that.
I do what I want, sir.
Yeah, apparently. Pat, back to you.
All right, so I just went on a vacation, and usually when I go on vacation, I like to bring a system with me to, play. But I noticed that I may not necessarily play the same type of games that I normally play, or a game that I've been currently playing on vacation. Like, it kind of changes things up a little bit. Like, I go in vacation mode. Maybe what I do is I go and I look on the eShop and find something like, oh, hey, this looks pretty cool. I bet you I could play this on vacation and maybe even beat it. Or I don't know. It just seems more like a vacation style game than a game that I would normally play, say, for the podcast. So it's kind of weird. Vacation also gives me a vacation from my gaming schedule by playing a different game.
Mm.
I guess it's a double fold vacation. Anyways, I want to know, when you go on vacation, do you do you game while you're on vacation? And if you do, does it change up what or how you play?
I can
When I
let me
go
go for it.
Oh,
Go ahead,
yeah.
Pat.
I was just gonna say it. One of the things I seem to notice when I go gaming or on vacation is I tend to find games that are more like puzzle based to play. And I tend to focus on those while I'm on it. I don't know. Maybe it's because they tend to be a little bit more faster pace, I guess, or it just more of a relaxing theme. But that's kind of what I do. But Eddie, you said you were just about to say something.
Yes. So, when I go on vacation, I do game. And there's kind of three things that I do when it's like a vacation. If I'm like just vacation at home and I'm gaming, I'm going through my backlog. If I'm going like on a trip or anything and I'm in a car, of course I do handheld gaming. I always try to find an arcade when I'm in a different city. And I try to see what kind of arcade games that they have there that maybe A, I've never played, B, never came to Aladdin's Castle, because Aladdin's Castle was the gaming.
Oh my god, I remember that place.
And stuff. So like as a kid, we went to Kentucky and we went to one of the malls, and it was the first time I seen Street Fighter, the first one, because I seen Street Fighter 2 that was out everywhere, but I never got to see or play the first Street Fighter until I went to the arcade in Kentucky. So
you were like, wow, Ryu has shoes.
Exactly. So and then there are some like title games that that I've never knew that never came out to America, but somehow it ended up in some of these malls back in the day. So I played like the Ninja Kids and everything, and just like, what is this weird? Oh, this game is a wacky, but it was fun games and everything. And I just look for interesting and new kind of concepts of games, definitely in the arcade, that never really came to America, and B, never came to console or even PC. Legally to PC, I should say. So
Hey,
just remember, every game ends up on PC, legally or otherwise.
Don't be that guy. Don't be that guy.
Well, I'm just saying to cover our bases.
It feels like you've besmirched. It feels like you besmirched some PC gamers, but whatever.
No.
I kind of feel like a cop right now. I'm not sure what's happening. Is he trying to snitch us out?
No. Because the thing about
Snitches
it
get
now,
stitches, Ed.
now, but the thing about it now, because a lot of the arcade games that are coming out for current consoles are games from the 80s and 90s that you were able to play that you just never seen come. And there are some arcade games that people stream and play on their PC that I've never heard of from different countries and stuff. So, how they obtain it, I have no idea. But if there are arcade games legally out there, that's cool and stuff. But yeah, when I'm on vacation, it ain't kind of gaming.
There are developers and companies that are going out of their way to release like old, like sometimes obscure arcade titles that didn't make it everywhere. Hamster is one of them. So more often than not, if I see something that's an arcade port that I've never heard of, I almost always go look at Hamster, and it's usually there. But I mean, you are also correct. There's plenty of shenanigans out there happening too.
Oh, cool. Wolfeee, how about you? Do you do any gaming on vacation?
The last vacation I went on, I did not do any gaming. It was my babysitter's wedding, so I was very busy. I brought my laptop because I thought I was going to play Stardew Valley, but I ended up writing. I think the last time I had a console on vacation was when I was 16. I brought my Nintendo DS to go camping, but it was glamping, and I played two games. I played the original Mario Kart for the DS and Animal Crossing Wild World. It would switch between the two. If I were to bring a console on vacation, probably my Switch. And I probably, instead of Animal Crossing New Horizons, I also have the game Catherine. I love that game.
Oh, God, yeah.
Great game.
I love that game. I love that.
That is definitely a good game to have on vacation.
The back half of that game has some problems, gonna be honest, but like it's still pretty good.
It is pretty good. I always go for the demon girl. Always. Never it never changes.
And the demon girl is king.
Oh yeah, 100%. I mean, both of them are beautiful, but like I usually, if I were to play anything on vacation, it'd probably be that on the Switch.
Yeah. Well, and then they brought it back and introduced a third Catherine.
No way.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, you can play full body. You have
Catherine
full body
with a Q.
Wait, I think I might have that one. I don't know which one I have. I have to check.
It's a time.
I'd have to check.
Did that come out last year or 2 years ago?
Catherine?
Full body? No.
Yeah, full body.
Yeah, full body's been out for a while.
Yeah, it was out. I think pre
almost
PS5.
5 years now.
Yeah, I think it was out pre PS5.
Oh, I do have it.
What?
Yeah.
Because it came to Switch, right?
I have it.
Yeah. It launched.
Okay.
It launched on the Switch.
Just have
As a matter of fact,
came out
that's the only. Yeah, that's the only system it's on. Actually, full body. That's the only system it's on.
No, it's on PlayStation 4.
It's on PlayStation.
Oh, it is on PS4. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Vita in Japan.
Oh God, long live the Vita. I miss that thing.
Because it was PS3 and 360 when the original Captain came out.
Yes, I had the 360, but I was young when that came out. I was only
my God!
This is when Atlas was like low key, not known just yet.
Oh my God!
No, it wasn't. No, that's not true. That was post Persona 4. Like they were a big deal then.
Yeah,
they were a big.
But it was still.
Man, that stretch of time, and we had Bayonetta, Catherine, and DMC Devil May Cry. Oh my God, that was a run that year.
Look, DMC Devil May Cry will always be top tier all time.
I've never played Bayonetta. I've only seen the cosplays.
Oh, Bayonetta's so dope.
Bayonetta.
I would say
so good.
If you're gonna play Bayonetta, I know everybody would say play the first one. You need to play 2.
Oh,
Bayonetta 2. Oh my God, Bayonetta 2 blew me away. I still haven't played 3, and I hate to admit that, given that I'm a fan of like the Bayonetta franchise. I just never invested time to buy it on the Switch.
I don't know if it's where I was, but 3 was not it for me at the time.
Well, actually, because I don't own Bayonetta 2, Bayonetta 3, a copy of Bayonetta 3. Maybe one of you guys that actually have it and have the Switch 2 can tell me did the Switch 2 improve anything for it? Because if it did, I will go back and spend this $60.
Not yet. I don't think so. Yeah. Nintendo hasn't did a patch or anything yet for it.
There's no patch. Well, some games don't need patches on the Switch too. I was pleasantly surprised recently with Luigi's Mansion 3.
I haven't played Luigi's Mansion.
Good game. Like be ready to sink a lot of. Be ready to sink a lot. That game is long for the type of game it is. It's long.
Yeah. I would say this Wolfeee Bayonetta 2 is the game that really jumpstart Platinum Games, and I know they had previous work, but that game made that name recognizable to a lot of people, because after Bayonetta 2, Activision started having them make games, and just they literally became big, really big after Bayonetta 2. And you're gonna laugh at the cutscenes because it's super over the top.
I think I mean, I don't remember the chronology, but I think Nier Automata came out before Bayonetta 2, and that is, I think.
No, because Bayonetta 2 was on Wii U before the Switch version came.
Right, but Nier Automata came out before that. I'm almost positive.
I don't think so.
I'm almost positive. Maybe we should
check
go.
For you.
Yeah, I don't want to look up stuff on a work computer. But yeah, Bayonetta as a franchise, 1 and 2 specifically, are very special. And I think that it was one of those games.
Okay.
One of those series.
So Matt, Bayonetta 2 came out 2014. Nier Automata came out 2017.
My bad then. Thank you for correcting me. But Bayonetta was one of those games where a lot of people reacted without playing, and then once they played, they're like, "Oh, wait a minute, we completely misread this." And that was fun to see.
I'm gonna say it. Only the creator of Devil May Cry can make a better Devil May Cry game than Devil May Cry.
Yeah,
I will say, I will say, DMC Devil May Cry by Ninja Theory will give one of the games to run.
That too. Well, that too, because I feel like Capcom immediately lost the identity of the Devil May Cry franchise when they started.
That was my favorite one.
Yeah, same. But, hold on, we're off topic here. We were talking about gaming on vacation. We're off topic. I think we have a bonus show.
You mean we went on vacation from the topic?
me and Matt has topic. Me and Matt has attacked.
No, because I forgot what version I had of the Catherine game. I know it came out when I was 15, maybe 16. I wasn't old enough to buy it, so I didn't end up buying it until my late 20s. I had just seen people play it on YouTube. So,
my vacation habits with gaming are definitely different from my at-home habits with gaming. Because let me see. I try to play a lot more easily digestible, quick games on my vacation. That way I can pick them up, put them down easily. That way it doesn't seem like I'm ignoring the people I'm traveling with and stuff like that. When I actually have my ROG ally has been my best friend, for these past 3 years that it's been available. I have the original, I have the OG, and I have the ROG Ally X, and one of them is with me whenever I'm going out on long road trips and stuff like that. My mom and my sister are always rolling their eyes anytime they see me because they're used to me bringing an entire PlayStation home with me, when I go on vacation. Now I'm bringing that, which basically can hook up to my PlayStation, and I can play those games. I can play anything I want and stuff like that. And they're like, "Wow, you just can't help yourself, can you?" And stuff like that. But yeah, normally my gaming consumption on vacations, I still game on vacations, but I always pick really quick burst games per se, or most of you guys know me on the show. Like I love rhythm games. So like I'm always going to have like some type of musical based game, like with me or something like that. And honestly, it's something to just help me with the fidgets because like sometimes I get out there on vacation and I don't have nothing to do or there's nothing I want to do except chill, and I have that restless energy. So like it's real easy for me to pick up one the handhelds and just go to work.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Well, how about you, Matt?
So I'm back from vacation as well.
Wow.
This is the first vacation I've not taken system with me, portably or otherwise. But games for me, I've never been a person who plays like multiple games at the same time. Usually, if I'm playing a game, I want to just focus on that. The only time I will switch is if I'm going into a place where I'm not online and I can't play it. And if the game I'm like, for instance, if I was playing Monster Hunter, I don't want to do the online stuff there. I wouldn't play Monster Hunter on vacation if I couldn't be online while doing it. It's just not the same for me. But when my wife was pregnant, we went to her family's mountain house, and they have Wi-Fi and stuff up there. And I brought my PS4. We were there for a week. We basically just relaxed because she needed to be in a cooler climate because she was just tired of the Philly humidity. And we went, and I basically did all of the errands, and I went out and got food or went out and got anything she needed. But then when we were home together, like we would either play something together. I think we actually played and platinumed co-op the original Guacamelee game on that trip.
Cool.
Which was fun.
Love that game.
Yeah, it's so good. I need to actually play too. I still have it. But yeah, if I'm taking anything, I'll usually just play what I've already been playing if I'm able to. If I'm not, I will switch to something that I either have in the backlog or I will just make sure I have something that is something with me that I can devote time to, or I will just not. I usually try and sleep on vacation because I'm so tired in general.
Oh, it must be nice you have people that allow you to sleep on vacation. Anytime I go on vacation with anybody that I'm with, they think I'm committing a sin against God if I try to sleep.
Well, see, here's the thing. Everybody in my life has always thought that, but then at one point, I'm like, look, I am trying, y'all. I've had 4 cups of coffee in the past hour, and I could still lay down and fall asleep. Clearly, there is something drawing me to sleep. So I can't fight this feeling anymore. So, and at one point, like, even my partner's like, how are you this tired? And I'm like, well, I think our first trip out to the mountains, we were there for 3 days and I slept for 1. And she got so mad at me, rightfully so, because I'm like, I can't wake up. I can't keep my eyes open. I am so tired. But then like there was the final 2 days there where I was up for 48 hours. So we got so much done and it was so much fun. But yeah, I don't sleep on vacation anymore because I have a 2-year-old. And that kid, he's lucky he's cute. He's real lucky he's cute. Like he is the cutest baby I've ever seen. And I will definitely cut a bitch if they come after him. But my phone fell again.
Hello.
Sorry about that.
Mhm.
I'm here. But he loves to wake up at like 3 a.m. and just be like, "Hi." And when a 2-year-old is like that, and you're responsible for it, you have to get up because it will get into trouble. It will find it will beeline for the most unsafe thing, and be like, I play with this now. So,
Parenthood, huh?
Parenthood.
Yeah, I have that. I don't
Yeah,
know.
the consequences of my actions are real, y'all.
I know nothing about that.
It's
Ugh.
I just have a cat, but she's like a 2-year-old.
I have enough nieces and nephews that kind of know the deal.
I mean, basically, my 2-year-old is an untrained dog.
Ooh.
He poops in the house. He pees in the house. He just has a diaper.
Matt, I'm pretty sure you're one of those dads where your wife is like, can you put the baby down for a nap, and then she comes back and you're napping and the baby's like, what's up?
No, because my wife hasn't been back to work yet since we had him. He is kind of like, when bedtime is a thing, he really just gravitates to her because she's been there the entire time. Only recently has he started to, like, prefer me to go to bed and put him to bed. And, the happiness on my wife is like, I haven't seen that kind of smile on her since we first started dating.
I was about to say, don't tell me. Don't tell me she's looking at him like traitor.
No, she's so happy. She's like, you mean you took one thing off my plate?
Yeah.
Go off, king. That's what she said. But yeah, it's funny. I have a tiny little Pokemon that just says a couple of things at a time, and maybe listens to me every so often. It's hilarious. I love him to death. He's great.
Oh.
Now, there have been times where, like, I've been sent down to give him breakfast, and that literal thing has happened. He's sitting there just watching TV, and I'm lucky to be alive, and I recognize that. I hope I answered the question. I don't remember.
You did. You basically said you sleep.
Yep. So, I mean, it looks like we all kind of do, like, when we do go on vacation, a good chunk of us do try to game when we can, but it definitely seems like our video game habits change into a vacation mode. So, it's kind of cool. It was just something I was interested in, see if we all had that kind of mentality of, like, switching up what we do when we go on vacation.
I think the easiest way to describe how we kind of all, like, basically approach gaming when we're on vacation is, like, we game. We don't want to work when we're on vacation, and our gaming habits at home are definitely like work and chores and stuff like that. So we definitely want to play the games that are going to give us, like, the biggest bang for our buck. The most fun potential and all that stuff, which is why I'm always playing, like, retro NES titles and stuff like that, or something from the Sega Genesis era, or, like I said, music games and stuff like that. I feel like if we're on vacation, we don't want to put the work in. We don't want to put Atreus through his trials in God of War Ragnarok and all this stuff.
No, I actually tried when I was on vacation in South Carolina to play Stardew Valley, and I was in the middle of it, and my mom had to wake me up because I had fallen asleep.
Yeah, exactly.
And a day had passed, and my character had passed out, and I was like, I'm tired.
Yep. Good topic, Pat. Good topic. You spin on some bangers. I tell you that.
Yeah, you just think of what's
They don't
on your
call
mind
him
at the
Power
time.
Pack for nothing.
You know what? I'm just gonna smile. I'm gonna wave.
Quietly
Okay.
stop the recording. This has been the Box Rush podcast. Matt needs to never come back.
All right. So I guess
The cream is only temporary for this flare up, sir.
So, if you guys are ready, I think I have a serious topic for us to talk about tonight, and also for us to round out this show. Uh,
Challenge
so,
accepted.
real quickly here before we get into this topic and stuff like that, please visit our website at bossrush.net. We have all the socials that you can think of. So LinkedIn, Twitter, X, whatever you want to call it, Instagram, all that stuff. So you find us out there. Join our Discord, keep the conversation going. Hashtag we are Boss Rush. So, all right. So I've been cooking this topic up for a week. Pat got a preview of this. Well, he got a preview of this when I put it in the chat. Like, hey, I want to talk about this on the show on Tuesday. But everybody, let's sit down. Let's sit down around the fire.
Not in this summer. It's hot.
Oh, okay. Let's sit around the NES console. and let's reminisce about like infamous video games and gaming hardware, the cancellations that essentially broke both the internet and the industry. All right, so I'm teeing this up by just saying the video game industry is no stranger to like ambitious projects that have never seen the light of day, whether it's due to financial constraints, technical challenges, or shifting trends. Cancellations of highly anticipated games, hardware, and accessories have left lasting impressions on gamers and developers alike. Some cancellations have sparked outrage. We're going to mention a few of them, as we get into this, while others were met with relief. We're going to talk about a couple of those too. So even the most unseasoned gaming newbie knows that the video game industry thrives on hype, trailers, demos, promises of revolutionary experiences, all that combined and all that stuff. But unfortunately, for every Elden Ring or Baldur's Gate 3 that's delivered, there are countless games that vanish into the void, leaving behind heartbroken fans and lingering what ifs. These high-profile cancellations don't just disappoint players; they reshape developer reputations, alter corporate strategies. We mentioned that earlier in our pre-show. Please go back and take a look at that when you have the chance. $1 is all you need to see it. Altering corporate strategies and sometimes even changing the course of gaming history. All right, so first off, I'm going to ask you each one of you just name a gaming cancellation or a hardware cancellation that rocked your world when you learned about it. Pat, go first.
Mega Man Legends 3.
You were reading my mind. Actually, you were doing your homework because I gave you guys enough time to get ready for this. Like, well, at least the main boss rush hosts.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Yeah, I as an avid Mega Man fan, the fact that Capcom finally came out and said, yes, we're going to make Mega Man Legends 3, and we're going to listen to you, the fans, for what you want in this game. And then to immediately turn around and be like, oh, well, apparently you fans didn't want this game, so we canceled it. And it's like, what the hell are you talking about? Everyone wanted the Mega Man Legends 3 game.
That is, yeah. That one hurt,
I still have trust issues with Capcom this day because of that.
Matt, what's a video game or hardware cancellation that basically like messed you up?
I don't think I have one. Weirdly enough.
So you're saying you're that well-rounded and well-adjusted?
No, that's not what I'm saying. That's not what I'm saying. Like, I don't. It's one of those things that, like, most of the things that I saw that I found out were not going to come out. It was just a 2.5 minute trailer, and I was at a time in my life where the particular hype did not get me, like, or it didn't distract me in a way that was all I wanted.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I think that, the one thing I can think of that I was like, I was really hoping that the people who put it out really just went back to the kitchen, cooked more with it, and did something better, was Anthem. I
Okay,
think that
I was wondering if you were going to say that. I was like, it's right there.
like,
Yeah.
but like I played it. I played it and finished it. It wasn't great, but I wanted if they were actually going to try and fix it, I was really hoping they'd finish it, and they just decided not to. Which is fair. But yeah, like unfortunately, as much as I love this hobby, I have this is one of the aspects of it that has not burned me all that badly.
Okay.
And,
Okay.
and
That's fair.
I mean, I think I can safely say I'm lucky in that. There will come a time where I do get severely burned by it, like From Software announces Bloodborne 2 and it just doesn't put it out. But that would be the thing that would really hurt. But yeah, like I'm very lucky. I'm not high and mighty. I'm not well rounded. I'm just lucky. So
All right.
I'm not
Ed.
even good. I'm not even good. I'm just lucky.
Ed, what say you?
The Wii Vitality sensor. It was supposed to be a
Okay.
accessory that you put your finger in, and it's supposed to rate your heartbeat and like relax you while you play games and stuff, or certain games and everything. It never
I feel like that was
fully
doomed
came
to
out.
fail.
It got canceled. But it was the thing that Iwata was so kind of proud of. And when he talked about it at one of their E3s, it was kind of entertaining to see that Nintendo was going in this direction, starting up their quality of life, where they want to incorporate health into their gaming sphere, or in their business and stuff. And a lot of people wonder what that could have led up to. And even though it did get canceled, we did get like Wii Fit, and we got
Pokemon Sleep.
Pokemon Sleep, the band people use for their workout on Switch. I cannot think of that game.
You talking about Ring Fit?
Ring Fit, yeah, and
Mhm.
how that took off during the pandemic, and people reporting that they lost weight and changed their eating habits and stuff because of that game and stuff. And so really with the Wii Vitality sensor, even though it didn't come out, it did lead to good things in the future for Nintendo with their quality of life stuff, and it kind of paid off.
Wolfie, what say you? What's a cancellation in either gaming, hardware, or accessories that basically rocked your world?
Unfortunately, I don't have one either. I think for me, I was upset when I grew up with Club Penguin, and when those servers shut down, I was mortified upset because she's going away. I was mortified because I grew up with Club Penguin, and they ramped old RuneScape, but I tried to play it and it's terrible. Like the paywall, I can't pick it up again because of the paywall. It used to be you could level up and like you could do it quickly and you didn't have to pay for anything, and it's just crazy to me. And then they did bring back Wizard 101, but I haven't touched that. I think also the Friday the 13th server is shutting down too because I enjoyed that game for the little time.
It's funny that you mentioned Club Penguin because at Toys R Us that I worked with, that was the gift card leaving our stores quickly before Minecraft came. People were always coming in buying a $20 or $50 Club Penguin, and even definitely for birthday parties and stuff, they were buying it as gifts.
Man, working at GameStop, I was like, man, what is this crack? Why are we selling at least 5 to 10 like gift cards, game cards a week with this thing? What is this? And not even like cheap ones either. I'm talking like $20, $50 ones. It's like, what is going on? Okay, so this is not so much a cancellation because the game did get released. It just never got released in the West or in the United States. Monster Hunter 2. the original Monster Hunter 2 game. Like it brought me to the point where I had to modify a PlayStation and start importing Japanese games because like I so enjoyed the original Monster Hunter game. And yeah, and like Matt said, like, I've been playing Monster Hunter since it was brand new and stuff like that. And even though like I know Monster Hunter 1 was balls crushingly hard. It was a game that had a very high level of entry and stuff like that. But like I played the game until Capcom said there was no more game to play. Servers stayed up forever, but I was ready for something new. I heard Monster Hunter. It was called Monster Hunter 2 Dose. And when I heard about it, like I started doing the read-ups on it and stuff like that. I was like, man, they're changing some things about it and stuff like that. And then we got the heartbreaking news. Like it didn't sell enough in the United States to warrant them like even wanting to localize it and release it over here in the States and stuff like that. But Monster Hunter was a phenomenon over in Japan and stuff like that. By the time Monster Hunter 2 came out, there was already 2 versions of the original Monster Hunter game. The first one in Japan and stuff like that. So I knew something was going on. But yeah, like it broke my heart. It broke my heart, but eventually like we persevered. They relaunched Monster Hunter on the PSP, and then Monster Hunter finally started taking off over in the West. It didn't really get fully realized until Monster Hunter 4, but yeah. That was one of those ones like when the news came out, I was like, there's no more of this game happening. And I was one of those people that had astronomical like runtime in that game. I'm pretty sure the game clock was 999 hours for my playthrough of Monster Hunter. I played that game to death. But the reason why I ask you guys about these game cancellations or accessories and stuff like that is because there is like a sort of an agony for unfulfilled potential with all this stuff. Few things sting more in gaming than a canceled project, which is basically the abrupt ending of a promising world, mechanics, or stories that have reshaped how we actually play games, how we consume games. These unrealized visions don't just disappoint the fans; they fracture trust. In all seriousness, using my Monster Hunter example for a moment, right? Like I understood Monster Hunter was like a high level entry game back then. So but at the same time, like I was really miffed. I was really miffed by like all the reviews that are coming out and the popular magazines like EGM and all that stuff. They were giving like such middling reviews, and it's like, okay, I was reading these reviews and I was like, have you even tried to play this game? Because it doesn't seem like you played this game at all, and stuff like that. Like very few of the people that reviewed it, would actually grasp what was going on, and I get it. Monster Hunter was a life sim based, that was disguised as a hunting sim. It was, but eroding the trust right there, is one of the major things. Whether it's games like Silent Hills, for example, or StarCraft Ghost. Let me see. Anthem Next was a project that I think is one of those ones that basically people had a sigh of relief that one didn't happen.
I forgot Steven Spielberg game got canceled. Codename LMNO. Yeah, he had him and EA was supposed to be doing a video game. And I remember reading it. I had just looked it up, and I was just like, I remember Steven Spielberg saying that he was making a game. I didn't know who the publisher was, but I knew it got canceled. And I think he probably would have been the first like big director to make a video game movie or have this collaboration just with a video game company to make a game.
Another one that
didn't he
broke.
do Boom Blocks or something like that? Wasn't that him? Did he have something to do with Boom Blocks?
I think so. On Wii, right?
Yeah, that game was dope.
Yeah, another one that rocked my world. Go ahead.
Boom Blocks is a 2008 puzzle video game by Electronic Arts for the Wii and Engage. It was developed by EA Los Angeles and directed by filmmaker Steven Spielberg.
Yep.
All right. Another one that rocked my world was the cancellation of the Mass Effect Andromeda DLC.
Oh yeah, 100%.
That one rocked my world because in all seriousness, I was waiting for more of the Milky Way galaxy like races to show up in Andromeda. So like it really stung when they're like, yeah, we're not getting a sequel, and we're also not finishing the content that we started developing and stuff like that. That one stung. Even though Mass Effect Andromeda is like my least rated Mass Effect game, I was still looking forward to. It is my least rated one. Okay, maybe not, because I rated higher than the original Mass Effect, and I know Matt's probably gonna like walk all the way down to Virginia and slap the shit out of me.
Because I would say because to me, mine would be.
I've heard you say plenty of wrong things. It's fine.
I would say 2 is top tier, 3 is under 2, Andromeda, and then 1. That would be my list.
I respect that because like I feel like my love for certain Mass Effect titles are on a sliding scale. Like it all depends on where my head's at when I think about them in certain points and stuff like that. But yeah. So let me ask all you guys on the panel, why do these types of ghosts haunt us? Like what is it about it? Like Matt kind of already said, like he's not that invested in gaming, that he doesn't get like the seismic shifts whenever like stuff shuts down or never happens and stuff like that. And that's cool. As a matter of fact, I think you're probably the most level-headed out of all of us, because like I can get really passionate. Sure. Dead Space fell off the map after Dead Space 3, even though I enjoyed Dead Space 3. I enjoyed Dead Space 3. And if you played the final DLC chapter for Dead Space 3, you saw they had a plan that was going to, like, the next game would have wrapped up the entire series and stuff like that. It just never happened and stuff like that. So, like Dead Space was dead, until the remake came out. The remake comes out. It is the best Dead Space game ever at this point now. And then we get the heartbreaking news again that, EA is going to go a different direction now. So yeah, like,
what a surprise.
I know, right? The 5 million copies, apparently, whatever, it's maddening. It's maddening. And for people like me who are invested in franchises and stuff and invested in characters, like every game has a good character. People are going to argue the trifecta of Chris Redfield, Jill Valentine, and Leon S. Kennedy, when it comes to Resident Evil. People are going to be all about, like male shep or fem shep when it comes to Mass Effect. People are going to be all about like Heihachi, Kazuya, and Jin Kazama in Tekken and stuff like that. But there's also other things that actually like imprint on people. Like, could you imagine a world where Nintendo's like, we are done making Mario games? Can you imagine that world? I mean, it's going to happen someday. It might not happen. It might not happen in any of our real like gaming lifetimes, but it's going to happen, But just imagine like the void that stuff leaves, or there's been a couple of Zelda projects that got canceled, and in Metroid projects, and us Metroid fans have never looked at it the same again,
Yeah.
I'm just upset because it means I'm getting older.
That too.
Well, for the cancellation of like, me coming from a Nintendo's perspective, like Nintendo will cancel some stuff if we don't hear anything about it from them or they don't show anything. But usually, like, they may have a good idea. A game might get canceled, but they may use that idea or aspects of it in different games. Mm-hmm. And when we find out from those directors and producers that some of the gameplay elements were intended for their canceled game showing up in this game, it's kind of cool. Like Nintendo would kind of recycle. I think like when back in the day when hardware got canceled and everything, a lot of people weren't thinking about hardware getting canceled because we were so focused on Nintendo and Sega, and then Nintendo and PlayStation, and then Nintendo, PlayStation, and Microsoft. And we didn't really hear a lot about consoles getting canceled or consoles not even making it over here. Games being canceled was really rare at a time. I think when we got more into modern games, we started hearing more about games being canceled due to budget, due to the project not going in the direction that they wanted to go. Maybe people have left the project or got taken off. Maybe the director or producer was moved to a different project, and those companies canceled it and stuff. Or even there's been some games like Legacy of Kain. I think this fourth game was supposed to come out, and they shut that whole developer down and stuff. And like the game, I think was almost complete and everything, and they were just like, "Nope, we're not giving you guys any money because it's taking you guys too long to develop, or we don't like what you got." So they shut the whole developer down and stuff.
You know, I want to pick up real quickly about like what you said about like Nintendo would cancel a project, but then like you would see like fragments of like what they were developing in that cancel game that winds up in like other games that were not even anywhere close to like that game they were developing, stuff like that. I call it the what if factor, because like basically what happens is like, yeah, like this was supposed to be in this game, but it winds up in this game that's nowhere related to it and stuff like that. And then it makes gamers a little more, they basically are pining for that game that was canceled and stuff like that, because they saw like some of the magic that would have happened if that game had come to fruition and stuff like that. I like that you mentioned that, because like what ifs are all over like forums and message boards, when it comes to like old canceled video games and stuff like that. So I'm glad you mentioned that.
Yeah, I kind of was wondering what would Sega do if they didn't get out the hardware business. Like
I wondered that too. I wondered that too all the time. Yeah. And speaking of hardware and stuff like that, hardware, and accessories that were canceled that changed like gaming. The Nintendo PlayStation, for example, like that project was going on between 1991 and was officially pronounced dead in 1996 and stuff like that. Everyone knows that was the prototype that Nintendo and Sony had gotten together for, that would have been like the Nintendo 64 disk drive system and stuff like that. Nintendo backed out of the deal with Sony, opting to stick with cartridges, which led Philips CDI to a deal instead, and Sony later. The rest is history at that point. The Kinect for the Xbox One. There was a bad marketing strategy when we think about this in the first place. It was discontinued in 2017, but Microsoft just ramming it down our throats and bundling it with the Xbox One honestly hurt the sales, because people were kind of already over it, and it was more niche hardware than anything else, stuff like that. So it really stunted Xbox One sales, in those early months and stuff like that. And of course, like
Sony had, what was the one that Sony had? Not the Move, but they had like that Magic Book game. Like Sony was doing some stuff. It was a game.
It was the PlayStation Move. That's what it was.
It was for PlayStation Move.
Yeah, it was PlayStation.
Okay,
Move.
Because there was some stuff like that Sony even canceled after like some of their PlayStation Move games came out. That ended up getting canceled. And I know there was like this big one that was like supposed to deal with magic.
Wonder Book,
yeah.
Okay, I remember that. Yeah, and ultimately the real tragedy isn't just that these games died, it's that they were allowed to die for the most part. Like we can look at like overpromising that was happening, from the developers and the companies, poor management, of course, toxic corporate culture, which kind of was like mentioned, that all turned cancellations into self-inflicted wounds for the company, and of course it all goes back to like an erosion of trust between the gamers and the companies themselves and stuff like that. Are there any other honorable mentions that you guys want to go? Because I think we can get ready to talk about what we've been playing and get ready to wrap this show up.
Valve was planning to make a console out of Steam. They had, I think, 2 versions of it, and they never got made. They ended up getting canceled.
I have an honorable mention. And anyone's a Platinum Games fan remembers the name Scalebound.
Yep.
Yep. Canceled in 2017. Let me just tell you, my little brother had never Imagine wanting to buy an Xbox. When he saw the stuff for Scalebound, he was like, ooh, this is my game. I'm going to buy an Xbox. I'm going to buy an Xbox when this game comes out. It got canceled. He has never bought an Xbox. To this day, he's never owned an Xbox system.
Bandai Namco's allegedly version of Metroid Prime 4 before they gave it back to Retro. The studio Nintendo didn't think it was going in a great way, and the game literally got canceled and restarted with Retro again.
Yep.
And I kind of wanted to see. I'm like, Bandai Namco making a Metroid game. I would love to see what they would have. Luckily, they had Mercury System or Mercury Steam.
It'd be a first-person Dark Souls. Like, it'd be a first-person shooter Dark Souls. That's what it'd be.
Yeah. Anybody else have anything to chime in?
Nope.
All right, cool. Well, just to sum this all up, canceled games, hardware and accessories often leave behind a mix of frustration and fascination as well. For some, like Silent Hills, they will all live on in infamy. Silent Hills basically, like, Kojima and Konami had a falling out, and there wasn't a perfect idea. The playable teaser will rest on anybody's PlayStations that have not been hooked up to the internet since they took it off the servers. And then while others like Anthem Next are seen as necessary cuts, hardware cancellations like the Nintendo PlayStation demonstrate how one decision can reshape the entire industry. Yeah. Whether met with outrage or relief, these canceled projects remind us that even in failure, they leave an indelible mark on the gaming industry. So there we have it.
One last thing before we move on. We're not including fan games that also got canceled and stuff because
because we will immediately start hating Nintendo, and you don't want to bring that fire out of me tonight.
Not even that. They're literally back in, I think, early 2000s or maybe in the 90s. There was a fan remake of Chrono Trigger that was going to be fully 3D and animated in 3D that was going to come out, and it ended up getting canceled.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
it was looking really, really nice. I think it might have actually been for PlayStation 1. But it was like some of the fan remakes, not including like Nintendo stuff or anything, some of the fan remake stuff that ended up getting canceled that looked like it had a lot of promise and stuff. It's something that we didn't bring in the conversation. But I just wanted to mention it to include that.
Well, I was trying to avoid fan stuff because I feel like that's a topic by itself.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
All right. So now it's time to move into what we've been playing. Everybody just let us know real quickly what you guys have been playing, how fascinating or how fun it is for you and stuff like that. And then we're going to go ahead and get ready to wrap the show up. Wolfie, you start first.
I went back to playing a dating sim based on Resident Evil Village where you can date any of the villains in the game. Fan-made. It was very fun, except every ending you die. It's messed up. Actually, I got the good ending with Bela.
I feel like you're picking toxic partners.
Okay, you know what? I don't want to know how you get a good ending with hooking up with
everyone is the toxic partner in that game.
Yeah.
It's fun. I enjoy it.
Okay. Matt?
I mean, one of my friends bought me a Dead by Daylight dating simulator as a gift on Steam.
Mm-hmm.
That's a thing. I played that. That is a thing.
This is reminding me.
And
I romanced Huntress.
Yeah. I feel like I'm trying not to ask questions about like how the romance went with Leggy D. I
actually never did that. Ironically, I romanced her older daughter. I actually have a full leg tattoo of Bela from Resident Evil Village, but I never actually finished it because I was in a weird state. I don't know. And she is one of the professors. If you're curious, it takes place at a university.
Oh man. Matt, tell us what you've been playing, please.
I've actually not been playing video games.
Okay.
Get the hell out of here.
I've been playing. No, I have been playing a game.
You even game, bro?
Even game.
Oh, I game hard, sir. I game hard. Let me tell you how.
Phrasing.
I chose my words and I stand by them. how did a southern accent just start to come out of me there for a
I
second?
know, right?
So there was a game that was announced on Kickstarter in 2015. You might have heard of it. It's called Dark Souls, the board game.
Oh, I've
These
heard
are
of it.
these are the same people that did a board game that is soon to be entering LeRon's collection, Monster Hunter Iceborne. The game that put them on the map is a game that came out in 2014, also by Kickstarter. It's called Guild Ball. It is essentially a miniatures game. It is themed around medieval guilds. So like you have morticians, you have alchemists, you have butchers, you have masons, you have brewers, and it is a soccer game. It was one of those things. I found it because of the Dark Souls Kickstarter, because I wanted to see like what other board games are out there. So I figured see what these guys did. I fell in love with this game so hard, and I have no like board gamer friends locally. I didn't at the time. But I found ways to like engage with it and become part of its community. I'm assuming we've all heard of like Tabletop Simulator.
Yeah, I
So
have.
there is a tabletop module collection, I think we'll call it, or it's an engine. It's called Vassal, and you can play Guild Ball on that. You don't have to like buy any of the guilds to do it. You don't have to buy anything. So I would play on that, and that was like a very obtuse and hard to get into way to play that. But because everybody in that community was like so welcoming, they had all the time in the world to teach you. So I did a lot of that. I eventually found some people near me where I could play, but then I was also a healthcare worker and the pandemic hadn't happened yet. The pandemic scuppered a lot of my in-person play of Guild Ball. And then in late 2020, Steamforged announced that they were not going to support the game anymore because the short answer is they stated that the people who took it to a competitive level kind of ruined it for casual people, not in so many words, but like they alluded to that. But last year, I found out probably 2 months ago that last year they decided to start re-examining supporting the game again.
Mhm.
So when I found out about this, I'm like, okay, I have to find people online. I have to try and find people locally to play with. It was one of those things I kind of felt like I kind of wanted to take ownership of my fandom of this thing because I don't want it to go away again. The beautiful thing is there's been what is called the Guild Ball Community Project. I know this is going long. I'm sorry. Just this is all really important to this. People that were in the competitive and casual scene for this game decided to take up the mantle and keep supporting it. So like they kind of did what the people who did Black Mesa for Half-Life. They were basically fan making a game with all of the things that already existed. They even errated models. They even came up with like they adjusted the rule sets. They changed the way certain guilds played, and they added their own to the game. And when Steamforged announced that they were going to try and re-examine support, they said, basically, we've looked at what the community project has been doing over the past 5 years and said, hey, apparently we were wrong, and the people who are super competitive with this thing really actually care about it, which I think is a beautiful thing.
So basically, they were under the assumption that the hardcore people were toxic. So they basically botched the project. The project, not realizing.
So it's a miniatures game. So and I found out because this was the only miniatures game I've ever really played. but it's something that like when it first came out, there wasn't like a full way to play it in one way. Like it took them 2 years to come up with what's called the kickoff box, which is a board that has the pitch, two teams so two people can play, and enough things to like measure and keep score and everything. A lot of that was done so piecemeal, like almost like people just trying to uh, homebrew a D&D setup that and then when it didn't exist that way. It didn't exist like a normal board game, at least from my point of view. But so I've been over the past like month or so, I've been reacquainting myself with Guild Ball. I have actually found several people that are really local to me in a gaming store that's local to me, where they just allow people to come in and play.
Nice.
So I've gotten back into it. I've played some games. I've gotten my teeth kicked absolutely the fuck in, and I couldn't be happier to be re-falling in love with this thing.
That's pretty cool. That's pretty good.
So I've been playing. They have two modules online that you can play. There's one called War Table, and then there's Vassal that I mentioned before. All of these have access to all of the guilds. All of the people playing really need to know and understand is that you need to know the rules, and you need to have an understanding of how your guilds play. And that's all repetition anyway. So, and because I was worried that I wouldn't be able to find people to play, the community project does a tournament every month. And I signed up for one. I played my first tournament game, which was something I always wanted to do back then. And to fulfill that made me so happy. And then after I lost the game 13-4. It's like a round robin thing, so I'm not like out of it. I have another game this Saturday, but I lost 13-4. And in re-examining like who's in, like I found there's a website called Longshanks that does like all sorts of tabletop like rankings, and I just looked at Guild Ball. All the people in this community project are like in the top 50 in the world.
Ooh.
My first game in this tournament was overall against the overall ranked number 3. So
Okay.
the fact that I scored on this guy makes me happy.
Take the win.
I mean, yeah, and he was really kind to like sit with me for a little bit after the game. He's like, "Look, you look like you have ideas on the table, but you also play like someone who's out of practice." And I'm like, "That's me. It's been 5 years. Give me." And he was like, "Okay, well, basically, you keep playing." And he asked, because like the guilds I'm playing now in this tournament is Butchers, and I was not a Butchers player back then. I actually rolled a D20 because there are 19 guilds, and I got number 4 and went alphabetical order, and the 4th one is the Butchers. It's one of it. And he was like, "You definitely play like someone who doesn't main this. You play like someone who's out of practice. But if you keep going, I have a feeling you and I are going to be seeing each other a lot." And that really made me happy.
That was a nice confidence booster.
Yeah. And whether or not he was gassing me up, I don't care.
Hey, get gassed up. Get gassed up, man.
But yeah, I'm back playing this. I'm playing it, and I've actually ordered paints to paint my miniatures that I still have from back then. I've ordered more guilds, and if any of y'all ever end up real close to me and want to learn about it, probably takes about 2 hours to get a game in for your first time, but it's really fun. I suggest you look into it. If you have any sort of tabletop interest, Guild Ball is really cool. And where most mini games require hundreds of dollars of investment just to get to the table, Guild Ball doesn't. There are major guilds that have essentially two teams per guild. There are minor guilds that only have one, and if you wanted to actually try it on like Vassal or War Table, that's all free. Like you can literally move the things around online and like get a feel for it for free, and then try it if you want to try and get to the table. But yeah, this game is really cool. I love it so much, and I have a feeling if I'm ever back again, which I'm never going away, you'll hear me talk about it.
All right.
So
Pat, you please go next.
Yo. All right. Well, I picked up Mafia: The Old Country, and I am loving that game right now.
I have been looking at a lot of the gameplay footage, and I'm like, this feels like freaking Uncharted, and I need a game like that right now. So tell me about it.
It's definitely not Uncharted, but
It
it
is.
is very. It's cinematic. Like it, the graphics are very good. If you
Mm,
played Mafia, the definitive edition that
mhm.
came out not too long ago, it plays exactly like that. Um, so it is, in a sense, it is an open world. However, the story itself is an extremely linear story, and it has essentially two modes. You have the story mode, which will go from mission to mission to mission with no stop, or you have the open mode, which allows you then to just kind of go explore the world and find collectibles and stuff. I don't believe there's any side questing in that. It's just explore, get cars, get horses, find all the little like things that you can collect. The story though has been really good. Like I have been enjoying the characters. It isn't too much different than the story that Mafia Definitive Edition kind of told. You play as a young man named Enzo who is um, he kind of came from nothing and was sold to a mine as a child by his father to pay off debt. And as he tries to escape this mine, he lands in the grounds of a mafia boss who takes him in and, says, if you work, we'll protect you. And so you kind of follow him as he grows up through the ranks of this mafia. As well as maybe taking a shine to the Don's daughter,
Hmm.
which
That won't end well.
mhm. But it's been a very good, like it's a very believable story so far. Nothing that seems like completely like out there, like oh this love feels forced or like no that totally would not happen. Like I've really enjoyed it so far. So
Good, good.
Yeah, and I look forward. It's supposed to be a short adventure. I finished about 5 of the 14 chapters already. So, but other than that, I've also picked up during my vacation. Is this seat taken? Which I know Eddie also probably wants to talk about. But this is good. This is a matchmaking game. By matchmaking, I don't mean like put like get two people together and have them fall in love. It's matchmaking in the sense of you have a person and they have preferences, and you try to place the person on the screen based on the preference. So they may be like, "Oh, I don't want to be standing next to a smelly person," or "I want to be next to my friend here, but there's only like a certain amount of seats where you can like place them, and your goal is to place all these people and or objects in a position that makes everyone happy." And it's addicting because like they start you off pretty simple, but these puzzles are getting more and more complex as the game goes on. And it's peaceful, it's chill, and I just keep wanting to like get on to the next puzzle and like see what other like little offerings that they have. Like it's gotten to the point where you have to interact with stuff on the map to, let's say, turn on an air conditioning or turn on a light so that bugs go to a certain spot, so they aren't like bugging people that don't want to be bugged by bugs. It's it's smart and I like it.
Nice. All right, Eddie, what you got for us?
Just like Pat said, playing it's the seat taken. I just got done doing the diner section. And realizing that people could share burgers or coffee and stuff like that, making them happy. So it's a really cool puzzle game. Right now, I'm back in the movie theater. So there's 3 places I think: a movie theater, a diner, and a bus.
There's a lot more places that open up, so it's not just those kind of puzzles.
Okay. And when you do solve a puzzle, like when everybody is satisfied, a couple of characters disappear and then new characters appear. So you can have more space and everything. And then you got to think of that way. So I'm really having a fun time with that. I'm playing Resident Evil 5 also on Switch. Enjoying that. I beat it before on PS3 with one of my friends, so I beat the game before, but I'm just like, I just want to play something like really on easy and just get some action, see how if I could get through this game by myself. And so I'm playing Resident Evil 5. Also I'm playing Guardian of Azure, Rune Factory. I'm really enjoying that game. About to get into some farming and then the more RPG action aspect to it. And then Rado, the remaster game, being a detective. I want to make sure that I get the title right. Rado, the mystery. Yeah, Radu, the mystery of the Soulless Army.
Actually, right.
That one is the game key card one. I was telling LeRon, we was having a talk earlier, that I put it in, I let the game download. It took a while, but that's number 4. And now every time I put the game in, it literally loads like it's a regular game. So, and it feels like it's a regular, it feels like a regular Nintendo Switch 2 game. So, but I played a little bit of that and really, really enjoying that. So I can't wait to get into some cases and fight and collect enemies or friends and stuff. I'm super excited for that. Last but not least, Mina the Hollower. I played that a couple of days ago, beat the demo for it, but it just got an update on Switch 2. I don't know what that update does yet. So I'm going to replay the game again, and I'm going to choose a different weapon. I used a hammer for my first playthrough, but I want to choose the whip with this one and see what this update is all about. But yeah, that's pretty much all that I've been playing right now. I'll be getting back to my Xbox soon after I come back from PAX.
Okay, cool. This is gonna be really quick and simple for me. I'm currently doing a last minute playthrough of Final Fantasy Tactics, the War of the Lions version, which I actually patched the PSP version. So like all the glitches with like, casting spells and like doing attacks and stuff, like that slowdown that happens, like that's gone. I patched that out of there. But just in case anyone's wondering where I'm at right now, I'm still in chapter 1, but I'm in the part of the story where the guys kidnap Tetra and try to kidnap Alma, and then Zalbag comes out there like a G and cuts one of those guys down and forces everybody else to run and stuff like that. I forgot how raw this game was, and that's sad for me to say because Final Fantasy Tactics is probably my favorite Final Fantasy game ever. And so just for the fact I'm like being pleasantly surprised now, I'm sitting there like, man, should I continue playing this or should I just wait for the Ivalice Chronicles to happen? Like I'm really like I think I want to be surprised all over again and not ruin my surprises before like the game comes out and stuff like that. So yeah, there's that.
I think this game is going to sell bigger than ever.
I think proportionally it's going to sell just the same as it did on the PS1 outing as well as the PSP outing and now this outing. I want to say proportionally, I don't mean it's going to undersell, but it's not going to do what we feel like it should do.
I think it's going to do more because it's on more platforms compared to it being on PlayStation 1. And
It's on
PSP.
PS1, it's on PSP, it's on PC, it's on mobile. Like, I mean, like, it can only sell but so much at this point, you know.
Well,
You know.
I'm probably thinking then of just the first version, the original Final Fantasy Tactics when it came out on PS1. It didn't. I don't think it did so well because a lot of people didn't talk about it.
The War of the Lions version is only unique to the PSP. Like the other versions of Final Fantasy Tactics is the original one, you know, on PC and on mobile. Yeah.
Did it do better on PSP?
I need to look. They did say War of the Lions is the most popular edition of Final Fantasy Tactics. Yeah, but let's just put it this way: like, it didn't sell enough to be like, hey, like, there's some interest in making an actual sequel to Final Fantasy Tactics. You know, the original game itself, and not just because you know you had Tactics Advance, which, in my opinion, they aren't really related to Final Fantasy Tactics at all. In my opinion, you know, that's an argument that can be had on Discord for servers, though. I'm not going to do that tonight here on the show. And I'm playing Tekken, and guess what? I'm actually playing with a new character right now. Well, a new character that's like an old character of mine. Like, Anna Williams is back in the game, and I'm playing with her, and I'm going through the growing pains and learning how to play her all over again because she is so different, but she is so fucking cool.
She is so insane, and I love her character model.
Yeah. Oh my God. Yeah.
When I seen that trailer, I was just like, oh, the Tekken team was not. They did not come.
Oh yeah. They came out kicking ass and taking names on this one. Yeah.
And no disrespect to Virtua Fighter, that new trailer that they got out showing the gameplay is gonna probably give Tekken 8 a run because that new Virtua Fighter looks insanely crazy. I was watching some of it. I'm like, this must so fluid. Yeah. 3D fighter arena kind of based games, I feel like it's making a comeback. And I think Tekken 8 and Virtua Fighter is going to be once again leading the charge.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. Well, with that, we're going to go ahead and wrap this show up. I want to go ahead and thank everyone that was watching and or listening to this episode of the Boss Rush Podcast. If you joined us live, please follow and subscribe to the channel that you're watching it on, if you haven't done so already. Also, if you're watching us later on YouTube when the proper version uploads, please give the video a like and leave your comments and thoughts on today's topics, or leave one of your own so that we can discuss on a future upcoming episode. If you're listening on Spotify or Apple Podcasts, consider leaving us a 5-star rating and a review. You can support Boss Rush over on Patreon at patreon.com/Boss Rush Network. Remember, it just takes $1 to get in there, so you know. But you can always pick the tier that's right for you. You can even follow for free and gain access to all of our base shows all on one feed. Wolfeee, I want to thank you for coming in tonight. Ed, you too. We appreciate you, man. Like, always glad when we can get some guests on the show. For everyone who's wondering, Corey and Stephanie just need the night off and stuff like that. So, you know, we also want to thank Matthew Kiel. Corey and Stephanie are gone, so we came back with 3 additional people for you guys tonight. So I hope you enjoyed the show. I want to thank everyone again one more time for watching and or listening. We're going to see you next time as we close out episode 288 of the Boss Rush Podcast. Have a good night.
Bye, everybody.
Bye. Guys.
If you want to see how you can become a Patreon producer, head on over to patreon.com/Boss Rush Network. The Patreon producers for this month are Adriel Munger, Austin Campbell, Celeste Roberts, Sana Deering, Francisco Santillan, Matthew Kiel, and Christian S. Thanks for your continued support of the Boss Rush Network.